Vinny, what the f are you doing? You just hit my little shoulder pad. What are you doing, Vinny? What are you doing, Vinny? Hi, I'm Phil. Welcome to Pretty Good Cooking.
Pretty good.
Tonight on the show, I'm gonna make a pretty simple recipe, but it's also a request recipe. That's right, we're doing a request. Tonight's recipe is roasted garlic cheesy bread. That's right, this is not complicated, but Zyrog gave us the full recipe, and it just so happens that I just finished cleaning and curing all this garden garlic. Look how many cloves of garlic we got. There's like a zillion of them. Glorious, look at that. But, you know, in my carelessness, some of those heads got damaged as I harvested them. So you can see some of them, they got like dirt on them, they're a little bit up. So when that's the case, you gotta use those ASAP. And therefore, a roasted garlic episode is appropriate because I gotta use a lot of this garlic, and so we're gonna put it on a bread with a cheese. When I was thinking about this recipe, I almost felt the need to defend myself and saying like, oh, you're making garlic bread, you already made garlic bread, just put a cheese on it. I don't feel like I gotta defend this because we're literally, for dinner, just gonna eat a pile of cheesy garlic bread and dip it in a sauce, and me and John are gonna be happy boys. So, if you wanna be happy boys, maybe make this. Let's begin. John made a fancy cocktail for me. Here it is. All right, we gotta roast this garlic. And roasting garlic can be pretty easy. It's not that complicated, but I don't think we've ever done it on the show. So it's a new methodology. I like this passive-aggressive brand name for the aluminum foil. If you care, buy this hippie shit. If you care. Well, I don't care, but it's what was available at the store. You know there's no way that it's like actually ethically sourced aluminum foil. That's gotta be from China, just like the rest of them. Oh, it's made in Italy! This is Italian aluminum foil. All right, well, man, I'll just eat my own words. I have nothing to say about Italy or China. You know, if they cared, they would not put this shits there, because now I have to get rid of that little bit. You can't put a adhesive on there, if you care. Golly. Also, you need to preheat the oven to 375 degrees. I already did that before we started filming. Isn't that great? All right, so since I got damaged garlic, anything that looks damaged, get it off. Pull it off. Look at those beautiful colors. And actually, I'm probably gonna set those to the side because I might try to just chop off the damaged bits, but get rid of them for the time being. And then when it looks reasonably clean to you, what you're gonna do is chop it literally in half, straight through, just like that, okay? And I've got some extra bits on this because, again, this is home garlic, so I trimmed it, but you can take off the roots, you can take off the stem, something like that. And we are going to roast this in foil on a pan. So we'll start with the bottom layer of Italian aluminum foil, which is hilarious. All right, let's do another one. See, that's kind of f***y. Maybe I can just, okay, look, now it's not f***y. Now it's perfect. But again, we're gonna chop it directly in half, whole clove, like so. We'll set it here. So you want to use, according to this recipe, approximately 20 to 25 cloves of garlic, which is typically 2 or 3 heads. Some of my garlic's a little bit small, so we might do a little bit extra. But also I'm thinking about doubling this recipe because John and I are adults and can eat a loaf of cheesy bread each if we want to. And that's just the way it is. Some things will never change. Well, this is the perfect context for using f***y garlic because you just trim off the f***y bits and then you roast it. Let's do one more. Let's do one more. One more, why not? So here it is, here's our garlic. Looks great. And to that, we're gonna drizzle it with olive oil. Olive oil. O-L-I-V-E-O-I-L. And Zyrog's recipe listed an amount of oil, but really you just gotta cover it with oil. That's really what you gotta do. Okay, now we're gonna start by packing it like so. I gotta say, my initial impression of Italian aluminum oil feels a little thinner than Chinese foil. Aluminum oil. Coming to your store soon. And then we're gonna hit it with a second layer. Nice, very nice. Okay, and tightly pack it down and throw that shit into the oven. 375, it's gonna be about 40 minutes. So let's set a timer for 40 minutes and we'll check it. Hopefully it'll be golden brown, not almond brown. Golden brown, then we're gonna put it on a bread. Then we're gonna put cheese on it. More updates soon. All right, it's been 40 minutes. Let's check that garlic. How the fuck do we open it? I'm gonna use our hot grabbies to remove carefully the Italian foil. One piece. That's a show or something. I don't know. All right, so I'm looking at this. Doesn't look golden brown. Might need to go longer. Oh, actually, it's very soft. So here, yeah, okay. So this garlic, maybe it won't fry the same way, but it is roasted, and you can see I can scoop the garlic. That's really all we care about. Right, I'm gonna let that cool slightly, and I'm gonna try to scoop some of the garlic out into a bowl. Let me show you what that will look like. And we're gonna increase the temperature to 425. So I'm gonna see if I can scoop out these cloves. Sometimes a knife will just do it, but you can see that it's already very soft. So an alternate way of doing this would be to grab like a paper towel or something. Very carefully grab one of these guys. Oh, it's stuck. Of course it's stuck. And then another option would be to try to squeeze it out, like so. And obviously this is very hot because it just came out of the oven. So don't squeeze it too tightly. But you can see I'm just like basically squeezing the garlic out. So this method you gotta be careful because you can squeeze some of the garlic just out onto the paper towel and then it's hard to get off. But yeah, once it's a little bit cool, which this is certainly not, try to just scoop it out best you can. So I'm gonna be doing that for a little bit. Oh, that came out really well. Okay, maybe this is the way. You get the pointy end of the knife right down in there. You can just scoop it out. This is the way to do it. Don't pay attention to anything else I talked about. Just do it this way. It's gonna be so good. You're gonna slap your mama. Not my mama. My mama is unslappable and unflappable. You're gonna smack your mother, viewer. We'll be back. All right, here's the roasted garlic. We are gonna fold this. And by fold, I mean mix. With some butter and parsley. This is parsley from my garden that I thoroughly washed and inspected. Inspect your parsley. When I have kids and they're too young to understand what it means, I'm gonna fill them with aphorisms like, inspect your parsley. Tell all the kids at school they should do the same. All right, this is a fine amount of parsley. There it is. And we're gonna fold this together with some room temperature softened butter. At least one stick per the recipe, but possibly two. You can see it's nice and squish. So using whatever thing you want, we gotta mix this together. And I'm gonna do my best to do that with a spoon? Whatever this thing you would call it, I don't know what you would call it. You're just mashing the garlic. You see it's like a paste. And if your butter is not soft enough, you know, you could throw it in the microwave for just a few short seconds. But actually I'm thinking, let's use that other butter. Because you know, the worst case is I got leftover roasted garlic butter, and that's not a bad scenario. But this time I'm gonna chop it. I love when butter stacks up like that when you chop it. I think it's hilarious. It's like now it's not a stick, it's just a tall stick. You know, a fork might actually be the way to go. Yeah, I think it is. Because with a fork you can mash it. Look at this butter. Do you understand now why we're only eating this for dinner? Shit, that looks good. All right, damn. Now, the original recipe calls for Italian bread, but I went to Giant Eagle specifically because I like this bread so much. I just wanted to get it. It's called Tuscany bread. And it is, you know, Tuscany is in Italy, but this bread is just so good. I just wanted to eat it. We're gonna do our best to find roughly the midpoint, and because it's an oddly shaped loaf, it's not gonna be perfect, but it might be pretty good. And because we're adults, we're gonna make two of them. Go big or go home, or both. As is this case. This is the multigrain Tuscany bread. And part of why I chose these were some of the only loaves of bread that weren't pre-sliced. And you can see I did a terrible job, which is okay. And you can see that over the course of a full pan and a half pan, all the bread can fit. All right, now we gotta slather on this butter, this glorious butter. And I'm gonna try to ration it to roughly a quarter of the butter per doodad, per half bread, which is a measurement I never thought that I would say. Yeah, I'll just divide it among the half breads. Well, that sounds funny. Maybe don't call it half bread. Maybe not. No problem. All right. And now, using a butter knife or your spreading implement of choice, spread that butter. And when you say butter, make sure to not spray the bread with your spittle. And I'm only saying that because certainly I did not do that. You just gotta be sure to not hit those B's too hard, lest you spray it instead of saying it. Look at this, this spreads beautifully. Look at this. This is like the perfect amount for this. We are literally making 2 loaves of cheesy bread. Oh Lord, forgive us for what we've done and what we're about to do. Now, the coup de grace. It's gonna be cheese. You knew it would be cheese. We told you that from the beginning. You want low moisture mozzarella. Low moisture, so it melts better. But by the way, just about every pre-shredded mozzarella is low moisture. So you don't even really gotta, you can just get shredded mozzarella probably. This is 1 pound, which means we're gonna try to put a QP of cheese on each of these half breads. The QP on the halfbread.com. Don't go to that website. And I always find when melting cheeses, maybe we won't use the whole amount, but you know, a fine amount. I find typically it's best when melting cheese to put more than looks normal. You can see that there's like a thick layer of cheese. That's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Now Zyrog didn't say to do this, but I'm gonna do this. Give it a little dusting of Parmesan. I only have this tiny amount of dust anyways. It'll provide a depth of flavor. And because you're bougie, we got the mountain salt that I'm holding with my fist for some big salt crystals. I think that'll be nice. All right, now these bad boys go into the oven. And ideally, you would put them just consecutively along the middle rack. I don't have quite enough room to make this much, so one guy's going down here. It's probably not gonna be as good, but that's okay. Probably is not gonna take that long, so we're gonna check it in 8 minutes to see how the cheese is melted, and then we're gonna try to brown the cheese for maximum flavor. And if it doesn't work in the oven, I'm gonna hit it with the torch. Meanwhile, we can heat up some marinara sauce for dipping. Because ultimately what we're eating tonight is just pizza with more steps. And I got a special, we're not gonna make marinara sauce, no. I bought the Pioneer Woman marinara sauce. There she is. That's the Pioneer Woman. I've been stealing recipes for this show from the Pioneer Woman for 5 years. I couldn't even tell you how many recipes have been loosely based on some really long blog that she wrote. So I figured the least I could do was buy a $4 jar of marinara sauce one time to pay her back for all the good times. All right, now we're even, and we'll get that heated up on the back of the stove so that it's warmed and it'll be good dipping. We will be back after I clean up all this bullshit. All right, we let them cook 8 minutes, then 2 more for 10 minutes. And you can see here, we got that nice melty cheese. And then if you got a broiler, which we do, but it's complicated, you can put it under the broiler for a couple minutes to get the brown top. Or if you got a torch, you could torch them. So I'm just gonna use a torch to finish the tops. And honestly, I think this method does not taste as nice as the broiler, but it's infinitely easier for me to do. So that's why I'm doing it. And by the way, I turned all the burners off while doing this. Never use a f***ing torch with a gas stove on. Don't be dumb, do be smart. But yeah, you can use a broiler to get the same effect. This is just how I prefer to do it. Bread's on fire, no problem. By the way, if your bread sets on fire, just blow it out. Just blow it out, it's no problem. All right, and there we have roasted garlic cheesy bread. And John and I are adults, so we're just gonna eat this bread. Now, to serve, 1 serving, put it on a plate and serve it with dipping sauce in a wide but shallow bowl so that you can fit that bread in there. And voila. If you feel like being a normal person, you could cut this. But I think we're just gonna take a picture of this. And it's gonna be too hot for me to eat, but I feel like I should cut it to taste it. Come on, come on. All right, I can't eat that in its current form. So here's some that I sliced up. And look at that cheesy motherfucking roasted garlic bread. Let's try it without sauce first. My shirt is it's so good. It is so good. It tastes almost like white pizza. It's the multigrain one, but it doesn't matter. It's gonna taste the same. There's so much butter, it legit tastes like white pizza, like there's a white pizza sauce on it. But now let's dip it. We like dipping. Oh man. I'm so happy we made so much of this. This is so good. This almost tastes like dank ass grilled cheese and tomatoes too. Same flavors. Shit, that's good. Well, I tell you what, that's how you do it. Thank you, Zyrog, for the suggestion and for ruining my shirt. Just kidding, it already has stains on it. God bless, grow a garden, plant garlic in it. 9 months later, have a pretty good meal. See you next time.